whoops, sorry, I started ahead of time.
Good. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I've got Queen Midas, Ava, and Manifesting Marin.
Hey.
How you ladies doing?
Hey, it's great to be here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, I'm okay. I gotta start off with saying that I totally thought that the two of you knew each other, and you both said yes to when I said, hey, you guys want to do a round table with like Marin and Ava, and you both were like, sure. And then afterwards you both like, okay, so who's Marin and who's Ava? And I was like, so thank you both for being willing and open to doing this and meeting just backstage now.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
I love it.
Yes.
And I know you two are just gonna totally vibe. So
yeah, it's so great to be meeting soul family and tribes right now because it's happening and it's awesome. Because we finally don't feel alone, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the big thing about, you know, throughout these last 3 years, I think a lot of us can sit here and say, yeah, this has been the most segregated and discriminated and alone that we've ever felt.
Yeah.
But it's through things like YouTube, which I never thought I would ever say,
Right.
that I'm totally meeting all these amazing beings and souls that I know for sure that I've had like other lifetimes with a lot of you before, and just like instant connections. And it really is amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
So I thought we would start off by kind of getting to know like all of us a little bit, right? Like I think about some of the shows that I like watching, and I really love hearing personal stories and getting to know the people behind that we see on the screen.
Yeah.
We are just all people all going through this, you know, ascension, this crazy shit, all this drama, all these energies. So like, let's get to know each other.
Yeah.
So let's see, what can we start with? Let's do favorite foods. Let's start with like a favorite like food to like eat, and then like a food that is our like secret, like I know this is bad for me, but I still eat.
Oh.
Ooh, favorite food. That's hard. I'm Italian, so I like a lot of food.
I was gonna say, girl, I like it.
It's a hard one, I know.
I'm gonna have to go with pasta. I mean, like a solid cheese ravioli.
I think
Yeah.
if Italian didn't say pasta, I'd be like, what kind of an Italian are you?
I know it's not every day, but yeah, I would be lying if I said pasta's not my favorite. It definitely is. Mm-hmm.
Or just like a food that you really enjoy, because favorites are hard for me because I'm like, I don't really can ever pick a favorite. It's depends on my mood.
Yep.
Yeah.
And time of the month.
Yeah, for sure. I would have to go with something Tex-Mex, like enchiladas or tacos. Those are like staples for like just growing up in Texas. So I'm like, can't beat a good taco or enchilada. So
yeah, I'm with you. Mine would like hands down be like pinto beans and homemade tortillas. Like I cannot like never have too much of that. It never gets old for me. I can have it like every day.
I think I eat beans every day. Beans are one of my favorite foods, like black beans, pinto, kidney, all of them. Yes.
And see, in Canada, like pinto beans are not common, and chili in Canada is completely different than it is, and it probably is different all over the States as well, but like in New Mexico where I'm from, chili is like red chili and green chili are like a staple in every meal. Like legit every meal there's like chili, there's tortillas, and there's pinto beans.
Really?
That all just sounds so good.
It is so good. But like here, people are like, they make this chili, and the chili here is good too, but it's like complete opposite. Like, I'm like, what is that? So what about like, what is your like, I know this is really bad, but I still eat it anyway.
MSG, like ramen noodles. Ramen noodles, it's like literally a neurotoxin. I always tell my boyfriend, I'm like, I am addicted to MSG. Like, It's so bad. But like I'm just a salt freak. I always say I have a salty tooth. I don't really ever have a sweet tooth. But yeah, I put salt on everything. But I have switched to the good salts like pink Himalayan, sea salt. But yeah, like a good old ramen noodle, it's so bad. 28 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So bad. So good.
For me, this is so bad too, but Doritos, like
That has MSG too.
I know. I know. It's so bad. And like people stuff in it too. And it's like,
I know.
and I'm like, you know what? I made it 34 years and I've been snacking on Doritos for all that time. So
And which Doritos?
not all
Like,
that time, but
do you have like a certain Doritos one that is your like jam?
the OG ones, like the original red bag. Yeah. That's where it's at for me.
Cool Ranch for me, when it comes to Doritos, Cool Ranch is like,
Oh yeah. It's like
Sweet
you
chili
think
too.
you're done. It's like, okay, I'll have 6 more. And then like you come out of your blackout and the bag's like all gone.
That's my guilty pleasure is chips. Like
Yes.
I know some people have like cakes and cupcakes. Mine is chips. Like I
Mine
could eat
is
a whole
chips.
bag in one sitting, and I'm like, so I just have to like not buy them, or I will eat them all.
yeah. See, that's totally chips and like dark chocolate are my and I will sit down with my girls and we'll open a bag of chips and it's like God. And I still buy them every time we get groceries. It's like we gotta get
right.
Dark chocolate's not super bad though, in moderation.
in moderation.
Yes,
But
everything
if
in
I'm
moderation.
sitting down eating a whole bag, I don't know if that's moderation.
I know. You know what? We come here to experience the 3D foods. That's what I tell myself anyway.
I literally told someone that the other day. They're like, but you're eating that. I'm like, you know what? I came here for the human experience and I'm not apologizing.
Thank you. And Maren, you talk about this too, because this is a part of it. Like, I feel like some people go like too spiritual, and you actually did a freaking amazing video about this today. I think I'm gonna put all of your guys' links in the description and all that. And Maren, I think I'm gonna put your little short that you did today, because it was like when you wake up and you're like spiritual, like as fuck, and you're just like, I don't do that.
I know. I went vegan. I quit alcohol, quit weed, caffeine, everything all in 1 month. And then I shamed everybody online who was not vegan and who drank and who did everything. Everything that I did my whole life, I quit and then expected the whole world to quit too. And I was like, oh, well, you're not a good person. Like I was that vegan, meat shaming everyone when I grew up hunting and fishing my whole life. Like it didn't make any sense.
I love that aspect of it when you said that. I was like,
yeah. Yeah. I'm an Aries, so I get aggressive about things, and I'm like, if I'm doing it, everyone should do it.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. It's funny because a thing that, and this is okay. I can ask you guys this question. So, what is something that people just like assume of you, and it's like the complete opposite? So for me, people just assume I am vegan. Like I always get like I'm vegetarian or vegan, and I'm always like, until the last like year, I've straight up considered myself a meatitarian. Like I rarely ate like any vegetables, like very, very few, but like did not eat vegetables. And that's always one that people are like, you're what?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, meatitarian. Like, what does that mean? I'm like,
I could see that because you look very like down to earth and like, yeah. That's funny. Mine is they assume that I'm very high maintenance because I went to beauty like cosmetology school, like I do my hair and makeup, and then so they think I'm into like super materialistic things and that I'm like a high maintenance bitch, and I'm like, I'm very opposite. Like I have one pair of shoes, one pair of flip-flops, and like all my clothes are like very cheap. Like I'm not anything like that. So yeah.
How about you, Ava?
I get the high maintenance thing too. Let me see. I guess until I start like talking, people don't think I'm as like deep of a soul as I am, maybe because I don't know. That's what I guess you're not allowed to be like a beautiful or attractive person and also have depth to your soul
Right.
and be kind, you know, because like that's what it is. Intimidating. People like think that I'm like like intimidating or like not gonna be a friendly, like a warm, like let's be friends type
Yeah.
person, when that's who I am. And
Yeah.
people are, like sometimes are scared of me, and I'm like, y'all, I'm like an ant. Okay, I'm like 5'2".
Okay.
Like, I'm like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? And I'm like laughing and like smiling.
Yeah.
And I love to connect with people. It's just, I don't know, but we we all have insecurities that we like
Yeah.
at one point in our life or another have projected onto other people, thinking that they're one way or the other. So
It's
Right,
so true.
yeah.
My whole life growing up, people used to tell me after they got to know me, they'd be like, I always thought you were such a bitch and you were gonna like kick my ass. And I'm like,
I get that. all
I've
the
never
time.
been in a fight before in my life. Like,
Yeah.
why would you think that? You know, and it was just like, whoa, I don't know if it's like, because I've always been pretty like authentic. Like I've always just like done whatever worn whatever I wanted to wear, done whatever I want. So I think there's maybe that's the aspect of like people take that as like, I don't know, they just they because of society, right? They take it as like, oh, you're this like conceited or you're a bitch or you're whatever.
that
People
scares
are-
people.
Yeah,
It
people
does
aren't
scare
used to
people.
people like walking in their truth, you know,
Yeah.
being who they really are. Like, no, in this day and age, so many people don't do that. They're afraid of what other people think. So yeah, and I think like with light workers and star seeds and stuff, we come in sort of with that higher vibration and that inner knowing to be authentic, that it comes across as, you know, people don't really know how to react to it.
Yeah.
And they're not used to it, you know.
So
But
true.
they're low key drawn to it, whether or not they
Yeah.
want to admit it. They're like, ooh, she got something that I want to know more about.
It's like
They'll always watch you. Yeah, they watch you.
yeah.
And so Maren, when you mentioned, well, both of you guys mentioned the high maintenance part. So I always say to you, I'm like, I'm not high maintenance like at all. But then yet on the other hand, I'm like, legit, I am like high maintenance in certain areas because I'm like, what ingredients are there? Where is it made? How's that sourced? What kind of water is it?
High maintenance in a different way than what people think. Yeah, people would like. I used to get all the time. Like, I'm from a tiny little town in northern Minnesota, population 700, and I would get people would be like, "You look like you're from LA," and I would be like, "Really?" Because I don't feel or act anything like that. But
and what does that mean? Like,
I know, right? Like, it's everyone judges everybody by their cover, I guess. And I have like that resting bitch face when I'm not smiling. Like, I just look mad, but I'm not, you know?
Yeah, I do too. I think a lot of women actually do, and yet it's like, again, society has just like coined it as like resting bitch face, and it's like we're just being like, I'm not smiling, I'm not sad, like I'm just being.
We're just being like, can we just be?
Yeah.
What else can we do? Okay, let's do one more. Music, because music, and I know Maren, you also really like music, and I know Ava, you're into dancing as well. So music is a huge part. I love music. This is a hard one for me because even my girls will always like, what's your favorite song? And again, mood is like a huge part of it. And what genre are we talking about? Like, I've got a record collection of literally like blues, jazz, hip hop, rock. So to your best, like first thing that comes to your mind, let's do like feel good, happy. Either like doesn't have to be song, but maybe artist.
So for me, they're not very well known, but I started listening to them during my awakening, and so many of their songs have been like huge staples for me along my journey. They're called Rudimental. I don't know if you heard of them.
I don't.
So it's like a group of guys, but they always have like they feature an artist, so it'll be like a different singer every time. But yeah, their stuff, and they like their artists always sing about like kind of not selling out to the industry and like songs like that, like more empowering stuff. But yeah, I'll send you a couple of their songs, but their
Yeah.
stuff is amazing. But like, I love all music, like everything from country to screamo to blues to everything. I love all of it.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree with you, Tanya. Like it's a hard thing for me for two reasons. So one, like, how do you, I don't know, choosing a favorite song, and then like you said, what genre, but then also with the shift, like the major shift in music from the like early to mid 2000s, and then where we are now, and just how it's like in your face with like how much, like how corrupt
Yeah.
that
Sure.
the messages and like the things that are being sent out with it is, it's like
The
really hard
frequencies
for
too. The frequency
The
as
frequency.
well, like what it's toned to.
Yeah, and then like with a lot of, in my mind, with a lot of like the rap, which a lot of the genres have kind of like melded into each other, like country is trying to act like rap and some with some artists, and then pop country and all this stuff, and everything's just like bleeding together. And they even have like similar cadences within their songs, and like a lot of them borrow from the rap. So I'm getting into a little excerpt here, but like
I love it.
to my, this is just my observation and what I've experienced. So with rap, like something that's been very popular is like repeating something over and over and over and over again, like 3, 4, 5 times, and then moving forward like da 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 da, and a lot of that like very mumbly mutter, like mutter rap. And there's supposedly that's like a type of entity connection thing there with the whole muttering. And then also in my mind, I feel that the repetitive, like when
mantras,
I feel like it's chanting, and then when
affirmation,
people joining in, and they're like all the energy behind it, they're like repeating, you know, and they're crunk with it, and it's like just all this chanting out these frequencies. So I have a very hard time with that. And then having been a hip hop dancer in Florida and everything, and like y'all, we would dance at like some of the songs in like our World of Dance routines, so ratchet. And I'm like, y'all, like if I were out here just regularly living my life, I would not be listening to the song. But the only reason I know this song is because it's in our choreo, you know? But so that being said, it was really long. I have a very hard time feeling okay listening to a lot of the newer music. I like indie stuff a lot. Country, like some Texas country. I like R&B for sure. A lot more of the artists that aren't as, let me see who, like the Roots, like this is old, but the Fugees, Lauryn Hill. I loved Amy Winehouse. Yeah,
I have a record. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love her.
Yeah.
And then so like an album that I was, when you were like a feel goody album, and I'm like, this is gonna probably like make some heads roll, but before she disappeared and got like out of this plant, like entire realm crazy, Lady Gaga's album with like, I think it was the Monster Ball one with like Just Dance and like why can I not think of any other songs, but like Poker Face and all that stuff. Like I liked those songs because they just remind me of like, it was like a phase getting out of my undergrad and college, and I really driving, and like I played that CD out to where it wouldn't play anymore. But it just always, it was just very upbeat, and like it made me feel a certain way. So when you ask like what made was like a happy or uplifting type feeling, I had to go back to that point in time to like actually be able to grab something that I could think of quickly. But it's weird to feel like I'm not proud to say that, but then it's like it's also my truth because it was like that point in my life,
right?
And
it meant something.
So
I love underground artists. So I work at a concert venue. Have you ever heard of Sabrina Claudio?
No.
Yes, I have her
I
like a
love
playlist.
her. She is coming. I get to work for her on the 20th. So I'm really excited for that. And like, that's what I love about the job that I'm at now. It's like, it's so many underground artists, you know, before they sell their soul or whatever. And, you know, when they're actually real and authentic and like, yeah, I'm so excited to work for her. Like, I'm so grateful for that job in that respect. But yeah.
I love that. I used to work at a vintage, it's called Vintage Vinyl. So it's like a vintage like record shop. So like all day long, it was just like testing music, listening to music, talking about music. There was also like a bong shop in the back. So there was that aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
It was an amazing place to work. But I struggle with like the question of like, what's your favorite song or artist? And it's like, there's so many. And it's like, I know like for me too, like you're saying like hip hop. When I say hip hop, it's like 90s hip hop.
Yes.
That's like, you know, like Tupac, Biggie, like Tupac for me. I really hope that he comes out as somebody who's still on there.
I know, me
like legit. I'm like, I just need to hear that because he was like, he
was
spoke
speaking
so
truth.
much truth, like so much truth. So he's definitely high up there. But I think if I were to pick somebody, it would have to be Xavier Rudd. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He plays the didgeridoo, he plays drums, and he just like he helped me through so many like dark, deep like times, Night of the Soul, like all of that. And he like I can share him with you guys as well too. And I met him before. My brother also, because my brother plays the didgeridoo. We both drum like in a drumming and like fire dancing group that my brother and sister-in-law created.
That's cool.
So we heard that he was coming to like just like 2.5 hours away from us, and I bought it for my brother. I'm like, we are going. I was really pregnant. I can't remember how. I just remember being like super pregnant, and I'm like, I'm going. Like I have to like see him. And then we met him, and my brother was able to like play the didge for him, and it was just.
Oh wow.
It wasn't like I thought I would be all like starstruck, and I'm so glad that I wasn't, because really like he's just another person, right? Like he's totally just. I love how like Janine is the one who talks about that a lot. Like no one's your guru. You were talking even about that tonight on your live tonight, and I feel like so many like of us, all of us, right? We put people on this like pedestal, right? Especially with like Hollywood, in the music industry, all of that. And now those of us who know, we know like what the majority of those people are into, like all that. And you're like, holy shit, like people were literally idolizing these people.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa.
Yeah. Like if they only knew what these people
They
did.
only knew. I had
Yeah.
somebody at work yesterday, on Saturday, I think it was, or just the other day. And the doctor saw her phone and she's like, oh, you have the queen.
Oh.
And she's like, oh, I know, I'm still mourning it. And I was just like zip. If you only knew. Like,
Right.
Well, it's getting back to like the point I was I should have known because YouTube suggested the video to me, and it's like they're censoring everybody. So I don't even know why I clicked on it, but it was like a channeling and everything was good. And then she started talking about like mourning the queen and like how this queen was a good person. I was like, nope, exiting out. Like you clearly don't know what's going on. I don't know. I mean, not to be like judgmental, but like it was almost like they were trying to get us to like give our sympathy and that energy. And I was like, why is YouTube suggesting this to me? They censor everybody else. So clearly, like, and then I thought about it after. I was like, I don't even know why I clicked on that.
It's so true. So, okay, I wanted to kind of get in and see, because energies have been crazy. I think we all like, you know, we've all felt it. I mean, I feel like I'm always saying that there's something going on in the cosmos, because there legit is. You know, it's like a new moon, a super moon, an eclipse, like the planets are like in alignment that they've never been in alignment for like 30-some thousand years, you know. But this last like full moon in Aries was full on Aries, like, you know, I'm sure Maren, you were probably like,
I'm an Aries and I have so many Aries placements, and oh my God. but it didn't give me like the normal Aries stuff. Like it felt like a dark night of the soul for me again. Like I went through some really heavy stuff, and like I was supposed to do the live I did tonight during that, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't. Like,
And good
was
on you for knowing that though, right?
Yeah.
Like for being like, no, I can't do this.
yeah, like it was very dense. Like I was clearing a lot of crap still.
Because we also had the 1010 portal right after.
Yeah.
Which, you know, well, like, because I know Ava, you also do tarot as well. So like, this is like endings and beginnings. And it was literally like letting that all go so that we can fully come into like our authenticity. Help me out here.
Authenticity.
Thank you. And I don't know if you remember, Erin, sorry, I can't speak today. Ava. I just literally
You combined our names together.
I just merged your guys' names together. That was crazy. Ava, when was it like Tuesday when we were on Mary's live? And I was like, what is going on? I have so much like anger and irritation and frustration coming up. And I was like Tuesday for me was like, what the hell is happening here? And like, I had to like really like ground. And I usually like, I can ground very easily. Like I'm an earth sign. I'm very grounded. Like I mean, literally surrounded by plants. Like, but that day was like, I had to work at grounding. I had to work at like finding my center, and I had to work at like breathing and getting through the day.
Yeah.
Intense.
This mood was intense. Like I am not really confrontation. Like I'm an Aries, but I'm not like, especially at work, I'm a chameleon. I know my audience, and I got into it with another Aries at work. Go figure. But I think are you guys frozen? Can you hear me?
You were frozen, but we could hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. It unfroze now, but yeah, so me and another Aries, go figure, at work, like got into it. And it was just like out of character for both of us, but yeah.
How about you, Ava?
For me, it was a lot of relationship and like childhood stuff coming up. So
Yeah.
I've been going through a lot of lessons around that and breaking a lot of cycles around those things, like super deep cycles,
Yeah.
really old wounds, and then having it's actually been pretty incredible because like I'll just be doing something and a thought will come up, or I'll find myself in a situation where I would have, it's like that like precious like pivotal moment where you can either respond the exact same way and start that whole cascade of drama again, or just like shift and do something different. And I've noticed so many more shifts in my life to where I'm like choosing love instead of fear. That's what it comes down to. So I mean, it hasn't been easy, like, but it's just been really cool to be more of an observer at this point, and more emotionally and spiritually and mentally mature and more secure, like on those levels as well, to be able to navigate and know that the stuff that's coming up and the triggers that are coming up, and oh, like that person said that, but hold on, wait a minute, like what is this saying to me? Like how is my initial response, like gut reaction, what does that say to me? Like what do I need to observe within myself? So that's just been a huge thing for me, is walking in my life that way now, and I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
It is so true, right? It's because we're mirrors in everything. Like whether you see something that you really, appreciate or like in someone, or you're being triggered by something, that's all like something that's inside of you.
Yeah.
And it is so true to be like, to take that step back and not react, and be the observer and be like, okay, what is this showing me? What do I need to work on? And that's what I've been finding too. It's like I've gotten out of the loop, and it's like, it's not that things, like we've talked about this, Marin, it's like it's a spiral, right? So it's like these things are still going to come up. I'm still going to get triggered. I still have days where it's like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
But I'm noticing them. Like I can notice in that
Yeah.
moment of like, holy shit, what was that? And like take a step back and be like, is this mine? Is this the collective's? Like what is going on and how can I remedy it
Right.
instead of like staying in it?
And like, what about this person that bothers me? You know, maybe that bothers me about my own self. And that's one of the harder lessons you have to learn when you but that's all of what ascension is, you know, once you realize that, you know, every experience that you attract into your life is either, you know, a mirror reflection or some sort of lesson, then like instead of getting so like down and out about it and mad, you can be like, okay, wait, you know, how can I change this within myself so that it doesn't, I'm just being bothered that this person is doing this, this, and that because I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. And like one thing that really attracts me to like both of you, because you're both very open about like this isn't just rainbows and butterflies, you know, this isn't like unicorns and like I'm in like la la all the time. Like you both are really like truthful about like it being hard and it being dark. And you know, I was speaking about last night how like even darkness has been given like, I mean obviously there's dark, right? Like there's dark shit, so I'm not talking that, but like even just like the thought of dark has been given like a really negative aspect, so you always think like a negative, but like our wombs as women, like whether you've had kids or not, it's a dark womb, right? The dark mother, like the creator of earth, like it's dark because the light, the spark has to come, and that's like the two together is the creation, you know, like the darkness is like where the light, where you see the light.
Yeah.
So there's, you know, you can't be all light. There has to be the darkness, the yin and the yang. Like there has to be
the darkness illuminates the light. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we didn't know, you know, that, and that's what we were saying earlier, like it's duality here. You know, if everything was just a light being, we wouldn't even be here. Like we've already been that. So we chose to come experience the duality. And as much as we want to ascend and go into the light beings, and I know we do because there's a lot of demonic things happening, it's like without those demonic things though, we might not have seen our own light or even known it was there, because you have to have that, like to know what you want, you have to know what you don't want kind of thing. You have to be able to see the other side, because one doesn't really exist without the other.
It doesn't. It totally doesn't. Like, and it's so true. Like, I feel like a big part of which I get like in those people that are, you know what's going on. We're all kind of sitting here being like, can this just be exposed? You know, like, can we, because it's like, I am under the belief that like, in order for it to never happen again, we do need to understand how deep, how dark all of this does go in literally every aspect of our life. Like it really has infiltrated everything. And it's again, it, like you were saying earlier, Ava, like that responsibility, like you have to be able to take that responsibility for like your own life, your sovereignty, your truth, and for all the ways that you've given away your power to people, you know, like all these ways that you've been manipulated, that you've been indoctrinated. And that's not an easy thing to come to. Like when I found out like how deep, I gotta watch my words, the trafficking of little ones, like how deep that was, that took me into like a huge, like a dark time where it was like, I had to just be alone. I just couldn't, like, it was like, holy shit. So I get why some people are still like, I don't want to hear it. It's not true. It's not happening. You're just a conspiracy theorist. And it's like, I get that, but it's also like, that stuff does need to come out so that we understand, and it never happens.
Yeah. And I think they know it because I know someone specifically close to me who's like this, and it's because they have kids, and I think they don't want to face it because they know it's happening, because they're not hiding it anymore. And they know that if they look in that direction, they're not going to like what they see. Mm-hmm. So I get that they don't even want to face it. Like I think it's to the point where it's almost like they don't believe it's they don't think it's not happening. They know it's happening. So they don't even want to look, because then it becomes real, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
And it's
voluntary ignorance. Like,
And it's like, nobody wants this stuff to be true, but if we deny it, then it's going to continue. Like,
yeah.
and that's the point of light working,
Mhm.
is it's not to light up what's already lit. It's to go into the deep, scary parts of the world and shine the light on that. Like, that is the point of it. You have to make awareness of it, or it will remain in the shadows, and then it will continue to happen.
Absolutely.
So true. So what do you ladies find? I know Ava, you always encourage me with your like, because I know you're big into like running and working out, and I'm like every time I hear you talk about this, I'm like, I need to do this more. Like, what is it that you guys what helps you like in times where things are hard, or you know, in the dark times? What do you find are things that like help you find your center, find source? And
Well, if I get to a point where I'm not moving enough, and especially with just all of the energy going on in the CMEs and solar flares and all that in the Schumann, like we literally have energy on energy on it. Like there is no shortage of like extracurricular energies going on right now, people. So, and Liz even said, and I think in our last video, about us being filters for energy wherever we go, whether it's for people, it's like the electronics we're around, which like that feels gross to even talk about that, like, ew, I don't know, but
I'm a shungite and
yeah,
my organites.
Yeah.
and then you know, just like all of the environmental and like all of the energies of this realm that are shifting, it's a lot. So if I'm not moving, and I start to feel really heavy, and like my body just knows it's like, you need to move. So running for sure, lifting weights. I like to like at night, like turn the lights off and like turn candles on, light candles. And I might have, depending on what I'm feeling, like whatever crystals around, and I'll like foam roll, like use a foam roller and like trigger point, and do a lot of like tissue therapy stuff, and just get into deep stretches, and just see where my body takes me. And like sometimes I might like do some exercises, just if I feel like, oh well, I could get a little glute activation going on, do like some like glute stuff or whatever, I don't know, or like abs or whatever, or stuff for my shoulders, whatever I feel like I'm needing. And it's funny because when in those times, I feel like I have this like crazy endurance where I just keep going, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll take these benefits afterward. Like, and I'll also have like really a lot of my deepest processing happens during those times where I'm in my body, and I'm connecting with it, pushing it to the point of its limits in a healthy way, like with stretching, and the areas that I avoid stretching most of the time, when I'll go into those, and I'll just like sit there and have to come to terms with it and breathe through it and let my body relax, and whatever comes up comes up. Also legs up the wall, like just laying on my back with my legs up the wall.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, and like with your hips as close to the wall as you can. I love to do that at the end of the day, and just breathe, like deep breaths, and just lay there. Sometimes so Liz got me onto olive oil face washing, and I really like it. So I'll do a mixture of that, and a little bit of castor oil, and then I have tea tree and rose oil in there as well for other facial benefits. But I'll do that and massage it in, and kind of like put a whole lot on, and then get a really hot like face cloth, and just lay it on there and meditate while I'm in that position too. And then I'll just like massage, like press into the thing, and like the face cloth and massage, and just let whatever comes come. And I've gotten into some of the deepest meditations in it, like under those circumstances. It's so nice. So that, and then salt baths too.
Yeah.
So
Are you a fire sign?
I'm actually a water sign, but I'm I'm a Sag rising, so there's fire there. I'm actually a Cancer Leo cusper, so I'm like water,
Okay.
fire, and my Mars is in Aries. So I have a lot of fire within my chart.
Yeah, because I was just asking because I know for a lot of fire signs, like our form of meditation can be like working out, because you mentioned like weightlifting, and that for me, like weightlifting has saved my life, I swear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's like moving meditation
Yes.
a lot of the time, but I
Yeah.
also
Me too.
understand the
Me too.
value of stillness as well. So
Mhm.
that's why I tell my subscribers, I'm like, y'all don't feel like you have to fit into one meditation box. Like if you want to garden and having your hands in the dirt, that gets you to another place, you know, of inner peace mentally, go with that. If hiking does it, if whatever, you know, everybody's unique. So I feel like we need to break this whole, you need to be sitting lotus style for
you're just
18
like,
hours. Yeah, that's not really
like
good for most people. So
it took me a while to figure that out. Like I was like, I try to meditate and I just can't, like my mind doesn't stay like when I'm like weightlifting, I feel like I'm more in a state of meditation than if I try to sit and quiet my mind, then my mind just races. So like it looks different for everybody.
It does. Totally does. What else do you find helps you in like really hard times or dark times?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, for me, that's one of the other reasons I moved to Florida. Just like being on the beach, like ocean therapy is so real. I love beach walking, even at night. Like sometimes we'll just go to the beach at night and it's so peaceful. And but for me, like working out is such a huge thing. And then when I first started lifting weights, I would cry a lot. And I didn't know, like, it wasn't because I was in pain or like doing something wrong. And I started looking into that and I realized how much like energy and trauma we hold in our muscles. And it like blew my mind researching about that. That's like a whole other rabbit hole, like all the traumas that we store in our muscles. And it's like, I was moving them in like different ways for the first time ever. And it was like the cries just felt so releasing. It's like the only way I can describe it. Like I wasn't sad or in pain. It just felt like I was just releasing all of this stuff. And so it's like, it's so important for us to move our bodies because we're in this like sedentary world now. And it's like, we're not meant to live that way. We're also not meant to be like busybody all the time either, but we are meant to, you know, have that equal balance of moving our body and resting at the same time.
I tell my kids that too. I'm like because you know, a lot of people we see, it's like they're always busy, always doing something, and it's like you don't have that time then to like slow down, to figure out like who are you, what lights you up, what do you enjoy, like when do you get that quiet time. And I think for me, obviously, like dance is my big thing too. Like obviously the movement, we're all on that, like in some form, like whatever form of movement. And you know, you speaking about the trauma, like that's my whole basis of the embodiment dance that I do, is to move that like stuck energy, the emotions and the traumas out. And it doesn't have to just be in dance. Like you know, there's so many ways to just move your body and get that energy going again. So dance is a big, dance and music. Like I always say, like
dancing. I love dancing.
Are like my life. Like ever since my kids were little, we don't do it enough anymore. I do it more on my own, but I think I need to start it up again. We used to always have dance parties. Like I would just put on music and we would just dance. Like sometimes like I've got a record player, or we would put like playlists on. Sometimes I'd put on my like like lights everywhere. My son's dad is a DJ, so like when we were still together, like he would DJ for us and he would like teach the kids how to DJ. It's so cool. So yeah, dancing for me is definitely like a big one. You know what, that when you brought up Ava, like stretching, I was like on such a good roll of like stretching every night, because for me too, the stretching, and it's like I don't necessarily have to be doing like a yoga routine, but just that deep stretching is so beneficial for me. And I've realized when you were speaking, I'm like, how did I get out of that? Like, when did I stop that? And and I feel it. I feel in my body where it's like, oh, I haven't stretched in so long. So thank you, because I know I need to get back into that, because my body really craves that. And there comes a point where I'm like, I feel like the density, like I feel like it's dense, and it's not always like dance. I need to just stretch. And then salt baths are like, I cannot get enough of salt baths. Like if I could have one, I mean, it's funny because the house that we live in now has the worst bathtub ever. Like I used to have this beautiful claw for a tub that I like just immerse myself in, and now it's this like itty bitty like
I know, that's like mine right now too, is so small.
yeah, but I still get in it. I put all my salts and my like all my crystals and my essential oils and my candles.
Yeah.
You just whatever you have, right? You make the best of it. So
have you ever put activated charcoal in there? That's a good one too.
I haven't put it in my bath. I usually do like I do baking soda, and I'll do like my different salts and then essential oils, but activated charcoal would be a good one.
Yeah, because it really helps pull like metals out too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do bentonite clay in my next bentonite.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much activated charcoal do you add? Because I have some of that. So
I take like get it in the capsule form, and I'll just open like 1 or 2 in the bath and just put it in there.
Okay. So
I looked it up. I don't know how accurate this is, but whatever I looked up said that 1 pill can stretch for like a whole football field. I don't know how accurate that is, but like apparently like charcoal is very concentrated. So they said you don't need a lot, but I would just do like 1 or 2 in my bath. But yeah, I would do that like along with Epsom salts and stuff. But yeah.
I don't know why I've never thought of that. Like I've got the capsules too. Totally gonna do that.
I mean, anything that pulls metals out are amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, especially now, right? Like
and I think that I feel like most ailments and diseases, like the root cause is like either parasites or metals, but they go hand in hand together because the parasites bind to the metals. So it's like either way, you got to get them out. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're being inundated by them. Like
it's like you can't escape it.
No.
It's very gross. Yeah. It's a creepy world we live in, you know?
Right.
But it's nice to like when you come to the knowledge, right? And then realize again, like, you know, taking that responsibility and that sovereignty of being like, okay, well, I understand that this is everywhere. So what can I do now to like, you know, better myself, better my, you know, for me, my kids, you know, all of that. I know activated charcoal is another good one. If people drink, do that before you drink. Obviously hydrate, electrolytes, all that.
Oh yeah, it'll take your hangover away. Yeah.
Not that I'm like advocating like
I totally like educated my college roommate about that. I'm like, girl, here, take this. I do like I do a little shot of like apple cider vinegar with like a little bit of activated charcoal and like a splash of water. I'm like, girl, take this. You'll thank me in the morning.
And she probably did. It's probably like she never probably felt as good.
Right. She swears by it now. But I'm like,
one of my sisters gets such bad hangovers, and I told her about charcoal, and it works. It works.
It does. And that's again where like, you know, I mean, in moderation, right? But like we came here to have this human experience. So like, let's not bash people because like, I mean, like I will straight, like I don't drink, but that's also because I think I'm allergic to alcohol. Like it really has never been good for my system. I do like red wine, but now that I've been off of it for a long time, if I cannot drink it. Like it's like the head. And now I understand when my mom would be like, I get migraines, and I'm like, what? I have like a box of wine in my house. What do you mean? I've been a weed smoker and, you know, partaker for I don't even want to say how long because my kids are like right in this room.
Me too.
You know, so it's like, but again, like there's something that's been totally turned to, you know, have like this horrible stigma to it. But again, like in moderation. And I mean, I also now have come to a point of like, I take a lot of breaks from it too. Like there's a lot of times where I used to be like full on daily,
Yeah,
partaker in some aspect, whether it's like edibles or whatever. I mean, I still do like I do hemp every night now because it really helps me like have a good deep sleep, and it helps like my body.
Is that from Lance? I need to get some
It
of
is.
that. Yeah.
It's that's and I like legit, I have tried so many different hemp oils and CBD and all that. Like I have tried a lot. And that for legit is my best favorite one that I've had so far. So.
I can't wait to get his products. I just trust him so much, like just because you can tell he's very educated on like the quality and everything. And like, yeah, I can't wait to try his stuff.
His stuff is like primo. And it was I've talked about this before because I work at a naturopath office, have access to all of these products that he sells at cost, or like pretty much at cost. And I've been slowly switching over to a lot of his products because like he really like he does really know his stuff.
Yeah.
and the information and the way that they source
And you can
things.
tell.
Like there's all these things that I'm like, oh wow, you're totally not just trying to
Yeah,
sell
you
something.
can tell
like,
he
you know
cares
your
about
shit.
everything
Like,
when he talks about it. Yeah.
yeah,
You
and
can
like
just-
and then when I
see that
try it,
authenticity
it's like
in him, you can see it. Yeah.
yeah. And it's I felt different, like there's times I'm like, man, I've been taking this product like from my work, and all of a sudden I'm taking this one now and I'm like, I'm actually feeling different. But it's also like the energy, right? The frequency and the energy of him and his company, that's all going into his products as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think about like, not saying that the products that at my work are bad, but when you have like a smaller company and you get to know the people behind that company, it does make a difference. Like, it's the same with like foods and like, facial products, all these different things. Like those things are different when the people behind it have that passion and they have that, they have the light and they have that like that pure heart. The products literally are different that way.
Yeah.
And that's where you kind of run into problems like because then they get bigger and then the bigger companies reach out to them and they're like, well, hey, we can do this cheaper for you if you cut corners here and there. And that's where like some really good companies sell out.
Oh.
And then it's unfortunate, but I don't ever see Lance doing that though.
I hope not.
No.
Lance, if you ever see this, please don't sell out.
Yeah. But yeah, you can really tell, excuse me, you can really tell that he cares about people actually healing.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Like I've seen a few videos of him, like I guess Michael Jaco used to have him on a lot over the past couple of years. And then I did see that you just did a video with him, Tanya, recently.
Yeah, I think we did. We had one about because I'm interviewing him again on Tuesday, so it would have been about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have not tried his products yet either. I really want to try the bee pollen, and
Me too.
yeah. There's quite a few I want.
Algae. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the pine tincture. Like, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people watching this.
Yeah, that one.
That's one that like I talked about a lot. Like even at my work, I had the naturopath like bring in pine because I'm like, this is gonna be a thing that people are gonna be looking for. And we got to watch what we say on here, but I was super excited because his pine is with glycerin, so it's for that's the one that I give my kids like every day. It doesn't have that like strong, it's not an alcohol base, whereas some formulas it's like kids are like, I'm not taking it.
Yeah.
But yeah, my one daughter today was like, Mom, this is almost out, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah.
Oh, they like it. That's cute.
Yeah, they do. I thought, okay, actually, before we get into some cards, because I was hoping we could pull some cards, we all like were showing before we started how we have like all these crystals and stuff around us. It's like, let's just show people like what are some of your setups? Like obviously sage, Palo Santo are some of my things.
I have like the same thing going on. I got my sage, I got my crystals, I got my organite, I got one of my journals here.
I love it.
My cat.
We were talking about like labradorite. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I've got crystals, a candle here,
My
Another
forehead.
crystal.
Oh, that one's beautiful.
Yeah.
This one.
Always have
Yeah.
amethyst.
Oh, look at everybody's got amethyst. My amethyst is over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are.
And wait, my favorite, one of my favorites since I've been little, Fool's Gold, Pyrite.
Yes, pyrite.
Girl, seriously.
Yes!
I'm
I
having
just got a bracelet of it too, because I'm like, I have to have
Really?
pyrite on me all the time. Like,
I like that.
yes.
Starlight, Dalmatian Jasper. I think this is Green Aventurine, Mystic
Yeah.
Merlite, and
Oh, that's pretty.
Sodalite. And then
Yeah,
Silver
Sodalite.
Diamond and Black Onyx and Rose Quartz. So
I love it.
we're
I
like
always have
super crystal.
Labradorite on too.
Yeah.
Labradorite's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Labradorite.
There's so many. I've loved crystals since I was little, and it's
Me
like I'm
too.
still learning. There's so many. Like it's
Oh,
hard
yeah.
to keep up. I'm
Yeah.
like, I want them all.
I know.
Yeah. What do I have? I guess I've got Moldavite and
Ooh, yeah.
Shungite. And then turquoise is always like a huge
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. turquoise.
Amber. But yeah, I'm always switching.
Yeah.
A lot of these were my grandma's. Like my big turquoise this one was her like wedding ring. You can
Those
see
are
that.
beautiful.
I was so honored and it's like legit, I cannot get this ring off.
Oh
It's
wow.
meant to
It's like it's stuck on there. I'm one of those people that I think this is the only ring I take off at night, but I don't take my jewelry off at night. Do you guys take jewelry off?
This one I'll take on and off, right? Like usually I've slept in the past couple nights, but these usually stay on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My rings are kind of like clunky.
Yeah.
So
I keep my necklace on always, but I take my rings off. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I take my rings off when I go to the gym too. Otherwise they get
That
really
makes sense.
like bent and dented on the
Yeah,
bars.
yeah.
That makes
But
sense.
I used to wear my jewelry all the time though, but then I started getting like these, I don't want to dent and stuff. So
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I have a huge dent on this one right here. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird because people are like, "How do you not take your jewelry off?" I'm like, I don't know. I guess this bracelet because I really don't want it.
Ooh.
My like onk and
Ooh, yeah.
that's one where I'm like, I do take it off at night because I don't want it to like break or
Catch
shit.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. My little guy, we still co-sleep. So he's like kicking me in the middle of the night. And I have like, do you guys also sleep with crystals? Like, am I not the only one that sleeps with crystals?
I put them in
Under
my
my-
pillowcase.
Yep. Under my pillow. I do.
I now sleep with silver too.
Oh.
I have like
With
a silver coin.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
I definitely sleep with an organite pendant for sure. And then I'll switch up another crystal, like whatever I feel like I need. And then I put some under I used to do like the whole chakra underneath the mattress. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Oh,
But
I
they
like
say
that.
if you do like all of the chakras underneath the mattress. I did that at my old apartment and then I moved and I just haven't done it. But now I'm
I
reminding
like
myself.
Yeah, I like that. I currently have 2 of May Levy's like activations. She has these like she does light language like art that comes with it.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have it under your bed for like these ones are like under your bed for like so long. And those ones are still under my bed.
Yeah.
But I like the chakra system. That makes so much sense.
Yeah. I need to redo that. I like forgot about it until we just had this conversation.
I love how everybody activates each other. And
Yes,
like,
I know.
just clicks that key. Like I love it.
Yes.
Let's see. Do we want to pull some cards before? What are we at? Yeah, I guess we're at like an hour here almost. Do you ladies feel like pulling some cards?
Yeah,
for the
I'm shuffling
collectives?
already.
See what-
I've been shuffling for a couple.
Yes, let's see. I love your readings.
What are we gonna ask?
I think I'm just gonna see what message would like to come through for the
Yeah.
collective. But
I have like
whatever,
an OCD
whatever you
where
guys.
I have to sage my cards before I use them, or I feel like it's tainted.
Oh yeah. I did do like a blessing before we went on. I always call upon my angel guides. I call upon Source, Mother, Father, God, Creator to always be with me. But yeah, so true, Marin. It is. I think it's good for people to see these things, right? Of not that like Mary did such a good video on that. Like I was like, okay, everybody needs to see this video because whenever you're working with the spirit realm, divination, any of like channeling, like you really do, even YouTube, like getting on like Lyme, you really have to put up protection. Like protection is so big. So like, you know, I understand that not everybody works with angel guides, but whatever it is that your protection is, like put up that protection, you know,
and
make
that's
sure
what
you're working with positive of the light only.
and that's when it comes down to like intent. And I always make it a point to say, you know, because you can use anything with bad or good intent. And I always make it a point when I use my cards, I say out loud, I do not consent to any demonic, low vibrational entities coming through and swaying the reading. And like, I call upon my higher vibrational guides who have the best interests for myself and the higher good of everyone at play. And so I always make a point to say that. So yeah, so when people are always like, oh, you're calling in demons, it's like we know to call, like to say, you know.
Yeah.
So yes, it's all about like protecting the space for sure.
So I'm gonna do the Beyond Lemurian.
Ooh, yes, that's a good one. So I don't know. Oh, did I interrupt you? Were you about to say something? Oh, okay. So I don't know. Both of you all's platforms probably don't really know me, probably, but I'm in a super transient state right now. Like I just got out of a pretty unhealthy relationship, and I was in the country. Like I had moved halfway across the US thinking I was getting married, and turned out to be like a total Cinderella situation where I was like expected to live a life that was totally not in alignment with what I have. Like I have huge dreams, super ambitious, like all these dreams and goals, and like I felt like I was being erased. Anyway, that being said, I know that I went through this long, less like not long, but it was like a 10-month like intensive, like spiritual intensive, like, okay, girl, you really want to break these cycles? Let's go up here and get your butt kicked. Good luck. Like, yeah, but I've been back in Texas for about a month now, a little over a month now. So it's awesome. I'm safe. I'm in a good, healthy space. My family's here. My best friend, like my best friend from 7th grade is here. I stayed with her before I went with my parents temporarily, but I'm saying all that to say because like all my stuff is still in storage in Pittsburgh. Like I got a U-Haul, moved it to storage, and then dropped the U-Haul there, and then Ubered to the airport and flew to Texas. So all my stuff's still there, and all my crystals, like all my magical things, you know. So it's like y'all are showing all these things. I'm like, oh, I forgot about mine. All my other cards, like, huh?
That's a powerful storage unit.
Yeah, I know. All my cards, like my singing bowl, like.
Oh, I need to get some of those. Ugh.
Yeah, I got.
You know what, Ava? I'm pretty sure it was on one of your videos that I found the singing bowl. Like I've got another one that one of my best friends gave me, but the one that I bought, I swear it was from one of your videos, and I was like, what? And you had it in your like description of like where you got it, and I love that singing bowl.
Isn't it so cute? Did you get the black? It's like black with the copper color. Like I think mine has like a flower, a lotus.
Yeah, I wonder if we have the same one.
Maybe, yeah, because I think you can choose different. There's different.
There was different options, and yeah, it comes with like the little like cushion for it.
Yeah. Oh.
I feel like that's also like part of your journey of being like, because I struggle with this, right? Of like, I always say like, I'm not materialistic, like, because the Taurus to me, right? It's always like, they're materialistic or they really like things. And I'm like, that's not me. And then I'm like, all my crystals and like my cards. And I'm like, oh my God, if I didn't have these, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, it's almost like you're going through this, like, you can still do it all without that.
Yeah. I brought 4 decks with me, and then I was just showing the girls before we started recording that I found one at TJ Maxx too. So I'm like, found this little $7 deck that's cute. It's actually not little, it's big, but
it is big, yeah.
But it's really cute. And so I'm making do with that, and then like I don't know, a few crystals that I brought. And you're so right, Tanya. Like I knew that it was a lesson in like detachment, because okay, that's like my entire life. I have 2 suitcases, a backpack, and a shoulder bag with me. The rest of my life, you know, like the possessions and everything are my storage unit, I would still be alive if that unit burned out.
Yes.
You know,
right?
so that's the lesson that I'm having to deal with, is like detachment from things, which I always thought I was good at that because I move so much. And so I'm the person who will purge like multiple times a year because I don't want extra stuff, because I've moved so many times and I don't want to have to move extra crap. If you're gonna give me a gift, give me something I can use, that's like worthwhile, you know, like I love thoughtful gifts. And
Yes, me too.
it's just like, you're so right. You totally called that.
I always say that. I say that too. Like, I'm good at like detachment and like letting go of things, but like legit, if you were to see my house, how many knick-knack, like all these things, like every space has something on it. But I was actually speaking to somebody at work the other day, and when she said this, I was like, holy shit. So she was talking about how she was like basically saying that she's a hoarder, you know, but she's like, I just struggle with letting go. And then she was like, it's why I have so many like digestive issues, because I legit have a hard time letting go. And I was like, holy shit, you just blew my mind. Like, it's so funny. It's like, I see like, I mean, I'm very fortunate that I work with like a naturopath. I see a traditional Chinese medicine doctor, and I one of the other girls that works with us, she does cranial sacral. And then I also do like reflexology, and I have I don't have it here, my AO scanner. Yes. And all of them, it's like bringing up this like digestive stuff and all these things. And I'm like, they keep asking me like, are you having digestive issues? And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I don't know why this keeps coming up. Like, what's happening? And when she said that, I was like, holy shit. I'm like,
you're blowing my mind right now, because my solar plexus is so out of whack. And I've dealt with digestive issues my whole life. And one of my biggest things that I struggle with is letting go.
Like she literally was like, I was like, holy shit. Like, and that's like my solar plexus too. It's like, it's always this like bloated. I always joke around.
Yes.
I always look like I'm 3 months pregnant. I got the always belly.
But see, mine's not letting go of things. I'm really good at that. Like, I throw everything away. I don't hold sentimental value to stuff unless it's like my crystals and stuff like that. But I don't let go of like anger. Like, if someone says something to me and it bugs me, I will. And I'm a Virgo rising, so I overthink and overthink and overthink, and then it's like I don't let it go. So that's like, you're blowing my mind right now. Like, no wonder why I'm bloated all the time.
It's totally like, when she said that, I was like, holy shit. I'm like, you just explained so much for me.
Yeah. I've been really working on trying to, like, I always say duck feathers, like just let it roll off. And then I say the baby souls thing that helps me.
I love that. I love the baby souls.
Like, they're baby souls. They don't know. But also, not everybody's truth is the same either. So it's not just that they're baby souls. Like, some things like may not be true for others that are true for me. And I'm so stubborn that I have to like really let things go, and it's hard for me.
Yeah. Do you all want me to? I can go ahead and start.
Yeah, you go. I had some poppers here, so I had to grab them.
Pulling like whatever spirit wants to come out.
Yeah, I just asked for like messages of encouragement, motivation, insight, whatever we need to know. So I pulled from the Power of Surrender first, and I had 2 cards come out, and then I also have bottom of the deck energy. Surrender comparisons to other people. Keep your eyes trained on yourself. This is so funny. You were just saying like everybody's truth is not your truth, or, you know, like we're okay, hold on. Keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. So we are all beautiful. Look at how beautiful that card is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. The artwork on this is so cool. But this is a time for us to embrace our own uniqueness, our own sovereignty, our own power, like knowing that we are worthy of love, worthy of that promotion if you're in a job, worthy of getting paid more, worthy of putting your product out there and getting the energetic return in the form of money and clients and whatever that you deserve, you know. And it's just like time for us to stop thinking about the perceived competition or where somebody is in their spiritual path or what they have, like possessions wise. And because everything always comes back to the self, but we live in a world where it's, again, ignoring responsibility, ignoring our own growth and progress and whatnot, and just like focusing on everyone else and what's going on outside. And then it's like we're leaving a wasteland here, like this barren wasteland. Huh? Oh, you got a similar message?
I'm sorry, I wasn't gonna interrupt you, but this literally says what you're saying. It's like time out. You've been so busy taking care of everyone else's needs. Now is the time to take care of yourself.
Wow, yeah.
Like pretty much stop worrying about other people. Yeah.
Yeah. And with the timeout, surrender to rest and sleep is at the bottom.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. So to prevent burnout, slow down. Tanya, you were talking about this earlier. Look, Spirit said, what did she say? Spirit's like, y'all hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Is that that's the same card or a different one?
I don't know why my quality is so bad, but yeah, it says time out.
Yeah. Okay. To prevent burnout, slow down, honor your need for quiet time and peaceful sleep to rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. So we were talking about earlier the things that we do to like bring us back to center, to recalibrate, to clear off the old emotions or emotions, energies, whatever that are not ours even, and recalling our power back like this, recalling our power, bringing everything back within us, realigning our energetic centers, however you might do that if you're somebody who is like in tune and like know how to do that. If you're not, it's okay. Just like all you have to do is like literally just have the intent to call your power back and let go of the things that are not yours. Like call your energy back and let go of the energy and the emotions that are not yours. It's that simple. It doesn't need to be this whole full thing. So I just want people to know that you don't have to be trained in this, that, or the other to just do your own self-work and self-care. So sleep and rest is very, very important. And we've been getting that message for like this whole year. Like, it's like, the Spirit's like, y'all go to sleep. Like,
Yeah.
quit tripping, go to sleep. And then I really like this one. Okay, surrender to play. Here.
Oh,
Yes. I've been getting on those a lot.
Yeah, so okay, take a break from overthinking a goal, do something fun, play as a time of recreation and rejuvenation. So that also goes into the things that we do to take care of ourselves and bring ourselves back to center. Because I've been super guilty of this like my whole life, just taking things too serious, and I gotta do this, that, and the other, and if I don't get this, and I'm gonna, like just being crazy for no reason. And it's like, have fun, play, go hiking, play with your kids, have a dance party, like be silly, laugh, sing, play an instrument, do those things that bring levity to your life in a situation, because life doesn't have to be, we were not created to be these stiff, like walking around like grumpy, whatever, fixated on making these numbers for this company, and like that's BS. Okay. But there's I feel like there's just there's breakthroughs coming through, and like with this Ace of Swords here, it's like breakthroughs, intuition, downloads coming in. Those downloads might come in a time of play or a time of surrendering to rest and sleep, and just finding like a delicate balance in there. And then with the Eight of Wands, I feel like this could also be a breakthrough in communication, also with like a quick one too, like maybe because we're in a state of just like moving, going. And I'll use like a relationship example, whether it's like with a kid or a parent or work, or like a romantic one. And say somebody didn't know how to approach a situation, but they're taking that time to take care of themselves, whether they're resting or playing or whatever. And then they have that breakthrough, and then they know how to move past that barrier. This could also be just like a divine spark. You're taking that time to gather your energy back to move forward with an idea or a mind baby or something that is, look at that. That's like, I just got
spiral.
A spiral, yeah.
And I just got the word desire, like desires of the heart. Desire is from the Father. So by taking that time to slow down and pull our energy back in, what if we open up that space for some like beautiful epiphany that helps propel our lives forward out of a certain cycle that we might be stuck in, maybe, you know? So I think overall, take time to really see what you need, check in with yourself, see what you need. Do away with the comparisons to other people because they're not your life. You know, they're not living your life. Nobody can show up and live your role as awesome as you can, and the world needs that. So take care of
beautiful.
yourself. Yeah,
I love that.
Cool, 'cause we were talking about I don't remember if it was before we started recording or not, but remember we were saying how like even indulging in the 3D sometimes will, like your card that you got that said play, it's like sometimes we need to even disconnect from not even like the matrix jobs, but even like the spirituality sometimes we can take too serious, and like we forget to just let go and have fun and indulge a little bit in the 3D. So it's so cool that card came out because we were literally talking about that.
yeah, so cool.
Yeah, and it reminded me that like in so many like healing sessions or readings that I've done with people, inner child keeps coming up, and it's the inner child is reminding people to play and have fun and let go. And so it's like as soon as you showed that card, I was like, of course. I wanted, before you go, Maren, I just wanted to share something, because when you pulled your first card, so it was like tonight was like I was like all the videos. It's like Kristen and Jason's. I had to get on there live. And then Maren, I was like, right when I like ended theirs, I was like, oh shit, Maren's live. I gotta check this out. And then right when you ended, I remembered that you guys follow Ben Thompson, Inspired Action, and he has Miss Psychic D on.
No, I've heard the name though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. I'm not sure.
Ben Thompson is he's one of the mods on JC, like Beyond Mystic.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, like, so he's got an amazing show, and he does his Sunday nights as well. And I was like, okay, I just want to pop in and say hi to them, because I'm like, I gotta get my little guy to bed so I can get on this show. But I popped on just to say hi to everyone, and because it's a lot of the same people again, right? Like in the chat. Uh-huh. And then they were doing like a quick reading, because Danielle does. She's a medium psychic, amazing. I love her energy too. And so he has this new thing where he picks people in the chat, and it's like this generator. And I'm like, I'm just gonna put my name in, because I'm like, in my head, I was like, I can totally get a reading in like the quick 5 minutes that I'm on here. And I got the reading.
Nice. Manifested it.
So, and it was her reading was she's like, I think you're building a business or something, but you're like, you have to come to a point where you're like okay with like making money and like being paid for like what you're giving out or what I was just like, holy shit, like, you know, like I needed to hear that message so bad, because it's like, it is hard to be like this is what I do, and you know, we do still live in this like 3D world, and I'm so much better at giving than receiving.
Me too.
Like, I've always like struggled at the receiving part, and I felt like that's a lot of what your card said too, like be what, like you're worthy of this, and if you're putting something out there, like it is that exchange of energy. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
How about you, Maren?
Well, I was just reading something. I don't remember who put, I think it was somebody on Instagram, but they were talking about normalizing. It was I think you actually, I sent you something by her, and I was like, all of her stuff is so amazing. It was, I don't know how to say it, Ashmi Path or something.
I think I know who you're talking about.
He does like all the really like beautiful sunset backgrounds, and then has like all of her quotes. So, but she was like, we need to normalize getting paid for like our spiritual practices, because, you know, this is the word currency is energy, really. I mean, the word itself. So it's like we're exchanging our energy for other energy. Yeah. And like, I'm even guilty of this too. My whole life, I'm bad at receiving. Like, I've worked in the, you know, industry, food bar, whatever. And it's like, if someone tries to give me a big tip, I'll try to give it back, like that kind of thing. And then that can put a lot of energetic blocks out that you're saying to the universe, like, that you don't want it, you know.
Yeah.
I struggle with that a lot. And like when I first started my YouTube channel, I always said like I will never ever ever charge anybody for anything. Like this is all free information. But it's like at the same time, not like I would charge for YouTube, but it's like, you know, our gifts may come down to someday like maybe charging for a reading or something. And it's like we need to get over like feeling guilty about it, because at the end of the day, we all still right now need an income to survive, you know.
We're still living in the 3D where like you have to pay for things, and it is really a balance. Like if you're putting out energy all the time and not receiving energy, that's out of balance, and it's not a good place to be in. And I think a part of it is like, I mean, most of us that are doing things that are different and outside of the matrix, we're doing it because we love it and it brings us joy and passion. And there's a part of like this stigma of like, well, you can't be getting paid for something you love to do, or like, you know, you just like even with like cards and stuff, it's like, well, that's just like something you like to do. And it's like, but this is like, why can't you love what you do? Like, you know, I want to love what I'm doing. Not that I don't love my job, but like, I can't help people the way I want to help people.
Exactly.
You know, and it's totally like, we need to come to a place of like and I hate the word normal now. Like, I don't want to be normal, but like, just to bring that to like, it's okay to love what you're doing, and for it to be different than 9 to 5.
And I've been saying that on my channel for the whole time, and I believe this fully. Like I think we come here to step into what makes us happy and joyful, and it's like, and I really believe that if you do what you love, the universe, like a byproduct of that, will be abundance in all forms. You know. So I think it just will end up working out that way. Not like you'd have to force it, like pay me this for this, you know. It's like once you step into that, whatever makes you really happy, then that's raising your vibration. And like I was saying earlier, a byproduct of that then is just getting the things that you want because you're on that frequency. So
I love that. So what was the card again? Like, did you want to show it a little bit more?
The first one that came out was the timeout. So like she was saying, like, and we've been getting that for months to just kind of rest. And I think with all of the ascension symptoms and all the light codes and all of the downloads that we're getting, like it's been intense, and I've definitely been feeling that. And Archangel Michael came out, which is so funny because he has been coming out for me so much lately. And every other reading that I'm watching on other people's channels, he keeps coming out. And yet this specific card says, I am with you, giving you the courage to make you life changes that will help you work on your divine life purpose. And then this one I got talks about, what do you visualize right now? Or sorry, what do you desire? Visualize it and it will come about. Negativity will block your process. And so this is kind of talking about like what I was saying before, like if we're in that lack mentality, like sitting around waiting and waiting for a savior, not knowing that we're our own saviors. Like we're the ones we're waiting for. Like once we all raise our vibration, the planets raises, and then those lower vibrational beings cannot exist. Like it's really up to us. And so to me, that's what that card meant. Like kind of like keep focusing on, you know, your own inner self, because your inner self is a reflection of the outer world. And it's like, the more we all do the inner work, the faster the outer world is going to show us what we want to see. So I just think it's funny that came out, because it's like everything we've been talking about.
Yeah, I love it. I had 3 cards come out too. The first one here. So these cards I love to just let people kind of take in. I don't know if you can see that.
I love all the like geometry.
Yeah. And this one is life force energy. So we were talking about, and again, I don't know if we were talking about this off camera or if it was when we were on, but just like, I think this might have been off camera when we were talking about things like divination and Reiki and all those things that it's like, people talk about how like it's demonic or it's evil, and it's like, where do you think it comes from? It comes from source, from God. And this one is revel in the bliss of being alive. This card is packed with luminous life force energy for optimal health and healing. As much as possible, seek joy and upliftment in everything you do. Consider the foods you eat, the environments you spend time in, the people in your life, and what you wear. Like everything we're talking about.
Yeah.
Increase your awareness of how things come to be in your world and their energetic resonance. You may be inspired to work with healing energies and the land, perhaps to grow vegetables. You're encouraged to joyously make your life a piece of Eden. As a result, you will shine with vitality.
Beautiful.
So it's saying I shouldn't eat ramen noodles then.
I know we talked about eating. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I can't wait to have my own garden. That's like on my bucket list.
Mhm.
This
Right
is
now,
my first year that I have like a little garden, and it's been so, especially with my, because I unschool my kids, so we've like incorporated like gardening and all that stuff. I mean, it's little, but it's
No, that's so
awesome.
fun though. I bet they
Yeah.
love that.
And to
Yeah.
be like, I grew this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I bet it's so much more fulfilling to eat too. Like
It
when you
is.
grow your own food. Like I live in a little apartment near the beach, so like there's no, it's like beach sand, you know. I don't have anywhere to grow a garden yet, but one day I'm gonna manifest it, because I just think it would be like that would be like also a form of meditation that I think I would love,
Oh,
is
yeah.
gardening.
Totally. Yeah.
Tanya, on that last card, I
Yeah.
just wanted to bring up the dolphins. So dolphins are also a sign of playfulness as well.
Yeah.
So
That they
true.
Yeah, I saw
I
that.
have
one.
a
What are those
mermaid.
things at the top.
You know what? I've actually, in a lot of healing sessions with people, dolphins has come up multiple times with people.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, I'm like, I don't know. And it's like every time that it comes up for someone, they have a connection to dolphins or the water. And I'm just like, whoa.
I
Like
have a
sometimes I question myself. I'm sure you guys do that too, where it's like you're getting this download or you're seeing something and you're like, do I say this? Like, I don't know. And I'm trying to trust myself more to be like, because when I do a session with people, I'll write down like things that are coming to me, and I'm like, okay, I don't know, this came to me, like I don't know why. And every time people are like, oh, like how did you know that? Or it's like, I don't know, I didn't. Like I was kind of scared to tell you.
Claircognizant thought drops is what I call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You know
like,
what? And I
oh, thank
feel
God
like
it landed.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm
woo!
just starting to like understand more like how downloads and channeling and stuff can look so differently. Like I've always pictured like, oh, I have to like clearly see this picture of something. And it's not. Like there's times it's just a flash. I'll just like, or I'll like, something will come into my head and I'm like say it's sunflowers or something. It's like, okay, sunflower, like, and then that means everything to them. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Trusting your intuition is huge. Yeah. This one here, I actually have never gotten this card yet. So
wow.
That's pretty.
These cards are just like spectacular. I love them. So this one is the sound of the universe. This card signifies those pivotal moments that transcend belief, remind us of greater reality, and influence us so that life will never be the same again. It symbolizes the sound of the universe. Having your world shaken up even a little can really, like the energies right now, can invite a closer glimpse of the great mystery of life. They are mirage ways to peek behind the veil of the mundane, ecstatic dance, spiritual exploration, and creative pursuits just are a few. Like, again, what we're talking about.
Yeah, all these have been on point.
Aim to imbue this awareness in your everyday existence so you can avoid the sudden wake-up calls. Listen for the hidden music, harmony, and wonder of your multidimensional world. Like,
love that.
That was beautiful.
I love how this is again where it's like, you know, I mean, yes, like you said, Maren, in the beginning, like anything can be used. It's all with intent. So if you are darker, anything can be used, good or bad. But also the reminder, like Bryce is one that she always spoke about. The darkness cannot create anything. It only takes, it only steals and takes. So like, even if something has been turned, we always have the power to take it back, and we could always use it for positive and light again. But like when you're seeing how all of us are getting cards of things that we have literally spoken about in this conversation tonight, how can you question that it's not from source?
Right.
It's not directly from God. Like,
Exactly. Yeah, and I just love when cards reconfirm. Like, I always sometimes, and I feel like my spirit guides might get mad because I always ask for a signier sign sometimes. But like, it's not that I'm doubting them. It's like, it's just, I just love the confirmations because it just like proves deeper and deeper to me that like this shit is real. Like, we really do connect with them through these tools, and it's like, it's not BS, you know?
yeah. Well, remember the card I got before we started, the angel card about the signs? And
Yes.
I love the signery.
Yeah.
How did you say it? This more
No,
signery.
I need a signier sign. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so my last one. This one too, I've never gotten before, and it's like,
Wow.
that's a powerful one. Like,
Oh, I love the animals on it too.
yeah, so this one is furred and feathered friends. Animals are intuitive, sacred beings, and wisdom keepers of many earth traditions. They are some of the most loving companions and have much to teach us. Yet the treatment of some species is appalling. You talked about this tonight, Marin, in your show. As in, as our empathy expands, we see beings and the quality of their lives as interconnected and equal to our own. We may be inspired to align our actions with our compassion to minimize the harm we do to the planet and her inhabitants. This card also signifies energetic bonds. You may have a greater awareness of the wisdom of the animals who encounter and their meaning for you. And
Wow.
you have a cat, Mary.
Yeah, that card is blowing my mind though right now because I've been asking for, and we talked about this when me and you did a show together. I just feel like I'm struggling so much with compassion for like some people, and I've literally been praying lately, like, give me the compassion that I have for animals for other humans that I'm frustrated with. And that's like literally what that card just said. Wow, I'm like blown away right now.
Do you have any pets, Ava? Like,
I did. They both passed within 5 months of each other this year. So
I'm
yeah,
so
it was
sorry.
really tough. My
That's
dog
so
in January and then my cat in July, a week before my birthday.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
losing a pet's like the hardest thing.
yeah. It was my dog. I'd had her for like 11 years. She was like 14, so I knew it was coming. She had been having a very tough time for like the past couple years. My cat I barely had for a year. Like, he found me. I drove across the state with a couple friends. And that morning when I was taking my dog out, I got this download, like, I feel like there's a cat coming to me because I've been wanting one. We get in the car, drive to Amarillo, which across the state in Texas, get to the Airbnb, and there's a kitten sitting on the doorstep, y'all.
Oh my gosh, no.
And he came in the house with us. And I was like, is this my cat? Like,
Oh, you're like,
wow.
yeah, you're bringing me. That's
yeah,
so beautiful.
I was in the kitchen washing my water bottle, and I'm like, okay, Spirit, if this is my cat, you better make it really easy to get this cat home. Because we had 4 adults and 2 dogs in my SUV. We got doors. Like, yeah, I'm like, we're gonna bring a cat home. Like, you better make this real easy. And right then I feel this brush on my leg, and I look down, and he looks up at me, and he's like, and I was like,
Oh,
that's so
first
sweet.
cat ever that I've had, and he was like so cool. So cool. He's such a good boy.
That's so sweet. I'm
My
sorry that
grandson.
my cat is 1000% my daughter's like familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
they're
probably her
so
little guardian angel.
bonded.
It's probably her little guardian angel, like spirit guide. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what my boy was.
So cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love animals.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I definitely would love to do this again with you ladies. Like, this is
Yes, it was nice to meet you, Ava.
I love you too, Marin.
I'm so glad that you guys were willing to jump on with each other and with me. Thank you so much. Definitely would love to do this again with you guys.
Anytime. I literally, like I always say, could talk about these topics all day long. I love it. I live for it. So anytime.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, like I said, I'll make sure I have all your guys' links. Yeah, make sure you guys send me your links so I can have your guys' links. yeah, you guys have an amazing day, night, wherever you are. Marin, I love how you end your shows. Do you want to end this one? Because I love it.
Sure. All right. So, to all my lovers, or to all of our lovers out there, we send you love and light. And to all of our trifling ass haters, we send you extra love and light and many hugs.
Yes,
Love
love it. Thank you, Ava. Thank you, Marin.
You guys.
We'll see you guys soon. Bye.